Good morning, guys. Mike, aka Crypto Jewels. All right, we're going to do our first daily Bitcoin update of the day. For those of you guys new to the channel, just real quick going over my lower time frame count. I believe what we have is a one wave up and working on an A, B, and now potentially a C wave down. And then we will reverse upwards into our three wave. That's my overall bias, my overall thesis for now. But obviously it's got to play out and we need to hold our key levels here. If you look at our fib retracement zone, which is all the way from 21,585 all the way up to 26,030, which is where we're at now, which is the 382 retracement. Typically two waves retrace 50% to 61.8%, which is considered the golden pocket, which is right around 23,333. So really our main support zone and our main support area is, the heart of our support is 23,000 to 24,500 or so, all the way down to, really 21,585. I would prefer not to see it get that deep, but technically speaking, it is possible. Once it breaks below that and sustains below that, then for me personally, the way I trade, a red flag would get raised, and I would assume at that point that this will break down and something else is going on, which if that does happen, or once we get close, if we start getting close to that area, we can kind of detail that out and show what that price action could potentially look like. Okay, so anyways, looking at my main bias here is that this is, again, an A, B, C, and we are working on our five wave down now, which this is a 1, 2, 3, a W, X, Y, and a four wave. And now we have got our first wave down, and then we are working on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and potentially targeting down between low 24,000, 24,500-ish or so at the moment is kind of what we're projecting at. I would anticipate seeing a B wave bounce here, or a two wave bounce, not a B wave bounce, depending on what this count ends up being. Oddly enough, I did have a little while ago, 4 or 5 days ago, I had a chart. I had the ending diagonal on here, which would have been basically that this was a one wave, this would be a two wave, and then we'd have a 3, 4, 5. This potentially still could play out as an ending diagonal. This being an A, you'd have a B, and then a C down here for our 3. Then you'd have an A, B, C back, crossing, overlapping into our one wave, and then an A, B, C down. So that is still possible that we have a ending diagonal in play, but really we just need to see how price action unfolds and play this thing level by level from this point. I'm usually a level by level guy anyway, but especially in scenarios like this that are real sloppy and choppy. I mean, this price action is not ideal by any means, and from an Elliott wave standpoint is very, very choppy, very sloppy, and there's not a whole lot of confidence for me personally on the micro time frame as to what exactly is happening in this count. My preference and my the thing that looks the most obvious to me is that this is an A and a B, and we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But for those of you guys who have been following this market analysis on Bitcoin over the past several days, you guys know that this corrective structure here has morphed several different times and still could be morphing and still could do all sorts of different things. So this is a really good example of why, as a trader, you have to really be fluid with the market. You can't marry a bias, and you have to be able to adjust your analysis, and if you're an Elliott wave guy, adjust your Elliott wave count as price action dictates. So another scenario, that, and there's several scenarios, but without trying to confuse you guys, I'm just going to go into the top, 2 or 3 that I see as potential, which that would be that this is actually a WXY here to possibly put in a larger degree W, and that this is actually just a, you got an A, potentially a B, and then maybe you might get a C for a WX, and then you could come down for your Y here, which would have you basically run the highs here, get to that could retrace potentially all the way up to 28,972 or so, which is the 618 retracement of this entire potential WXY structure down. And then from there, reject and wick down, and then finish, either an impulsive structure, which would be basically an ABC instead, or you could have a 3-wave structure, which would make this a WXY. So that is also possible, and could be a likely scenario if we indeed do turn up here impulsively and move fairly quick. That could be one more possible scenario. But again, as long as we are below this 27,667, I'm assuming that our 4-wave is in, and that we are working on our 5th wave in some shape or form, whether it be an ending diagonal or whether it be a impulsive 5-wave structure that has no overlap on it. That's yet to be seen. But I do anticipate, this heart of the support zone to hold one way, shape, or form. So we'll see what happens, and I will keep this updated as we go. See y'all later.